Good morning, everybody. It's Donnie with myflyfishing.club, and I need to get some perch for an aquaponic system that I'm doing. So I figured I would make a little fly fishing session out of it. So got the canoe, and we're in a small farm pond, and let's see what we can get. I'm looking for about 6 nice sized perch. Okay, so I've got my little spot here. It's nice and out of the wind. Beautiful little place. It's on the dam. It's overgrown with vegetation. The rod that I'm using right now is going to be a 3-weight, 11-foot, just cheap brand. Don't really need anything special for this type of fishing. But the type of fly that I'm going to start off with is going to be a muddler daddy, and then I'm going to have a follower fly of something with a bead on it, probably something that can get down a little bit better. Still pretty small though. I don't want to tangle up with the bass in here with as much vegetation as what there is. So we'll get after it. Boom. Whoa. Those bass love these perch. So here he is right here. He is going to be a perfect candidate for my aquaponic system that I'm actually growing lotuses in. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm just casting towards the vegetation over there, hitting that line. Then I'll attract a little bit and then I'll stop. What I'm doing is I'm watching my top dropper. I'm just kind of using that as a strike indicator. Sometimes they'll eat that, most of the time they'll eat the smaller stuff that's trailing behind it. But I have noticed that usually they're not going to eat this right now unless it's kind of still. So you just attract them to it, and then you let it kind of still, and that's whenever they typically picking it up. They like to hang around structure like that right there. So just kind of pull it around for, there we go. That's a little guy right there. I jerked him completely out of the water. I saw him going towards it, and then I got a little overzealous with my hook set, I guess. It's a fun way to fish, because basically what you're doing is you're fishing towards habitat. So you see a good spot, you kind of stop and cast into it a couple of times and see what you get. You move on to another spot right now, a little spot that I know back here that's really deep, and it's followed by a bunch of shallow stuff. So usually there's some fish sitting in there. These little solo trips like this are a lot of fun because you kind of get out by yourself and chill out, relax, reset, reflect. These things are important, especially in today's times, where it's hustle and bustle all the time. This is a cool little situation right here. I've located a bullfrog, and if you've never caught a bullfrog on a fly rod, it's a lot of fun. Check this deal out. May work, may not. He may have spotted me by now, not real sure, but he's just right over here. Boop! Right underneath that cedar tree. Got him. It's hilarious. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to make my way to him. That is really something awesome. Okay, so for our bullfrog challenge, this is what we've gotten here. I'll pull this fly out of his mouth real quick and get him untangled. Bullfrogs are pretty spectacular. How I got this guy was I just basically hung my fly up in one of the weeds around him. But as you can see, if you hold them upside down, it's the same thing as kind of a fish. Put them back side up, they become a little bit more active. Hold them upside down, goes to sleep. Right side up, he wants to get away. So, I'm gonna let him go now. He's puffed up, see him? You can really have a lot of fun fly fishing in warm waters. That's one of the ways right there. Full froggery. Back to task. Actually, I'm looking at a little snake right now. That'd be fun too. But it's not that I'm afraid of them or anything. It's just that whenever you catch them, they stink so bad because they kind of poop. This is a green water snake, and they have a defense mechanism, and it's to smell really bad. So I'll probably just let him go about his day. But back to trying to catch perch. See something moving way out there. I have a feeling that I'm scaring a lot of these fish with the canoe. Oh, there we go. Boy, he was a long ways out there. I gotta get him up real quick, otherwise. There we go. Okay, there you have it. Another really nice little fish for the aquaphonic system. This is what's going to make it possible to grow some lotus and some really good ghost peppers. Perch are a really nice species for this because number one, they can create a lot of waste. Number two, they eat anything. And number three, they're really pretty docile in a brand new environment like that. So this little guy right here, I will raise to probably be about twice his size, and I'll probably eat him too. So you don't have to have tilapia for an aquaponic system. So, but they are tasty. Let's keep after them. In order to make this a bit more theatrical, I realize that you guys are not going to really be all about watching stuff eat under the water, but I'm seeing a lot of activity in front of me here. They're eating stuff on top of the water, and I would like for you to be able to see one actually come up and eat something right in front of us. So I'm going to put this little yellow grasshopper on right here and wish for the best. If I really wanted to pull fish in, I'd stick with the soft hackles and subsurface stuff. It works really well. If I wanted to put 6 fish in here as fast as I could, that'd be the way to do it. Or if I wanted to catch 100 fish in a day, it would definitely be the way to do it. But to get to watch them come up and eat it and slowly, play the cat and mouse game with them, it's so spectacular. And I'd rather catch 1 fish on the top like that than catch 10 fish subsurface, just because it's such a special treat. You get to sight fish, and you get to really see a lot of cool stuff. So hang around, we'll try to get this to happen. So Operation Grasshopper Kill is green lighted. There's our first cast. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to move it around just a little bit, let them get it, leave it alone. Just kind of bumping it around, making it look like a bug that can't get off the water. And they're much more aggressive past this spot right here. See if I can't sneak something in way back there. There we go. Oh, I missed him. I lost him trying to pull him out of the junk. Anyway, perch can be a lot of fun too. Here's what I'm gonna do. I realized with this GoPro, it's really kind of tough to see that from that far away, so I'm gonna try to sneak in there a little bit closer. Oakley dokley, here's my money spot right here. Just kind of plop that dude in there, move it around for a little bit. If something hasn't eaten it within a couple of seconds, it's probably not going to. There we go. Pop! There we go. Little yellow grasshopper. Nice poop producing perch. And he is going to be fertilizer. Living fertilizer, by the way. So that's up to 3 now. My goal is 6. I'll bet I can catch another at least 1 to 2 out of this spot, and then I'm probably going to have to move to a different spot. But they're pretty active right here. It's actually a lot of fun. I'm having a lot of fun right now. All right, onward and upward with our perch catching selves. Bad cast. There we go. Perfect. A little bit of a bigger fish. Not really huge. Took that fly really deep. These are Umpqua brand. They're pretty good. They can get pretty far down in their gullet. Let me deal with this guy real quick before he stabs me in the leg. There's our fish. Big hump on his nugget. Going back in the drink. Anyway, yeah, our Umpqua nippers, you can make them to where they clip down and lock into place. They've got good cutters, they're serrated, and they've got good steel out here to where they don't really bend, so you can really get a good grip on stuff. I've used these to get really big hooks out of fish's mouths, and I've used them to get really small hooks out of fish's mouths. So, very good product. Let's get back out there. That's number 4. Ha! If there's a lesson here, it's don't worry too much about selfies while you're trying to catch fish, because he got jammed up underneath something. So I'm gonna let him have a little bit of slack, and there he goes. If you get a fish that's caught around some stuff, sometimes if you let them just have a little bit of slack, then they'll work themselves loose from it. And that's what happened there. But that's lucky number 5. I may just finish out my trip here. 6 fish, I'm limited out. So, 1 more to go. Seems like that deeper water, they are pretty skeptical about going out there and hunting. They're in this shallow stuff right here where these big bass can't get them. And there is 1 more fish right there. Let's see if I can work them around that. There we go. Perfect. Look at the red eye on that dude. Looks like me after a 24-hour shift. There again is our little our little grasshopper, our little yellow grasshopper fly. Use my umpqua nippers to get this thing out of here real quick. I didn't take the barbs off of these hooks because I want to catch fish. I want to keep these fish, and there are a lot of obstacles in here. So it takes a little bit more coaxing for these things to come out, but usually they do a pretty good job of it. So there he is without a fly in his mouth. Beautiful little fish, a lot of fun. Bluegill are a spectacular thing. Reduce a grown man to his childhood. The fly fishing aspect of it just makes it a little bit more challenging. I've seen grins on 65-year-old men's faces and reduce them down to a 5-year-old, basically, just by taking them fly fishing for bluegill. So I'm going to get these fish arranged, and I'm going to show you what aquaponic system I'm talking about. So hold on just a second. So that was a fun, successful little operation. Here's my setup. Like I said, there's a Chinese 3-weight, 11-foot V-nymph style rod. It's a Chinese reel too. It's a 3-weight line. It's a good line. It's a cheap rod, but a very, very good rod. I just got a minnow bucket right here, and I've got 6 perch in there. So they're probably getting a little bit hungry for air right now, so I'm gonna put them in this tank. So basically what I've got is a 300-gallon tank, and then I've got a couple of different planters for it. So the first kind of planter is just kind of a drench system. It's set up to where there's an overflow on the top of it. It keeps water moving through it all the time. The other is a little bit more complicated. It has a bell siphon valve, and it's got gravel in it. So basically what you do is you just plant your stuff in there. It fills up and then it drains off. So it does that every probably about 10 minutes or so. So it keeps the roots nice and wet and a lot of nutrients in there, but it dries them out so they don't get to where they get you know, rotten. So this thing is kind of dirty. It's the beginning of summer and I haven't cleaned it out from the winter, so pardon my mess. So here's the system right here. This basically sets up to where you can put planters inside of it and just floats on top. Don't really use it this time of the year. Use it a lot during the winter though. It grows really, really good lettuce that way. Probably the tastiest lettuce that you're gonna find. But like I said, 300-gallon tank. 6 perch do really well in here. It'll fund a lot of plants, but you base what you want to grow off of what you want to feed. So I'll show you a little bit more about that. These are my lotus plants. Big, beautiful flowers. That's just the beginning of them. So basically I've got them in here to where this water is pumped out of here, goes into there, and then overflow takes it out. This one right here, water is pumped in here. As the water rises, this bell siphon valve right here works to where it dumps it all out at once. So it'll dump all the water out of there. And then of course you've got your little place here for your fish. Well, everybody, that wraps up our little fun session of catching perch. Hope you enjoyed it. I did, as I always do. Anytime I'm on the water, I'm having a blast. And I find that I'm a nicer person when I get to fish. So things that are going on with the club right now, we've got a trip going out next week actually to Baja California to catch rooster fish. That should be a blast. The thing that we've got on after that on the scope is a hosted trip actually to Cuba. President Trump did not shut that completely down. We still have a license to be able to get there legally and safely. So if you want to experience Cuban culture while you still can, please do so quickly. July 19th is the date that that's going to occur. Week-long trip, $4,200. It's a lot of fun. It's well worth that for sure. In December, we've got a Dorado trip going to Argentina. So 2 different locations, both luxury accommodations. I think that trip goes out for $4,800. I think that there's going to be a little bit of extra travel in between the 2 places because they're very, very far apart. But 2 different types of fishing for the same type of fish. They're beastly Dorado, and I mean, I can't say enough about them. I have a lot of respect for that fish. It's probably the baddest ass freshwater fish possibly in the world. If not, it's up there with tigerfish. They just don't have those big ivory teeth like tigerfish do, but they're a badass fish. A lot of respect for this fish. So anyway, if you guys are interested in these trips, hit me up. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and share us with your friends if you think that they might benefit from the stuff that we teach and do. So I'm Donnie with myflyfishing.club, and I appreciate your time. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks.